Hey everyone, my name is Bogdan and welcome to Acura Addicted channel, helping you to navigate in the world of automotive repairs, maintenance and reviews. In the 7th and final episode of the 5th season of the Make Acura Great Again project, I'm going to show you how to change your brake rotors and pads. I highly recommend going with OEM brakes if you can. My last set lasted about 7 years and over 60,000 miles or 100,000 kilometers. And they had about 30% left, but I decided to swap in advance. The DIY video is for 2008 Acura MDX Tech model, but this will also be applicable for all the trims and model years from 2007 up to 2013, as well as a lot of other vehicles with similar brake setup. Please make sure to release your parking brake before jacking up the rear wheels, as rear brake rotors will be seized by the parking brake shoes. It's also a good idea to inspect brake hoses and other components while doing this. The process is very straightforward and can be completed by a new DIYer without any previous experience. Let's roll! Protect your digital life with Backblaze. Get unlimited, affordable automatic cloud backup service that secures your data effortlessly. Whether it's important documents, treasured photos, or vital business files, Backblaze keeps everything safe and accessible. With unlimited storage and easy recovery, rest easy knowing your files are protected. Sign up today and get 1 month for free using the link in the description. Here's a list of tools you need to complete this job. Jack and stands, a set of brake rotors and pads, a half-inch ratchet, 14mm socket or wrench, 17mm socket or wrench, 19mm socket or wrench, a Phillips screwdriver, a breaker bar, brake piston compressor tool, wire brush, silicone paste for parts touching rubber, copper or other brake paste for purely metal-on-metal contact, a syringe or a turkey baster for excess brake fluid, brake cleaner, paper towels, torque wrench to properly torque your fasteners, a magnetic tray to sort out fasteners, an impact wrench to speed up the process, an impact driver for speeding up cleaning rust, a bungee cord to hold the calipers, wire brush wheel for cleaning rust. You'll find my affiliate links for every product I use or recommend in the description. Alright, let's get to it. After jacking the car up and removing your wheel, loosen the brake fluid master cylinder reservoir cap. We'll start with the front brakes. Loosen and remove two 17mm caliper bolts. Remove the caliper and secure it firmly. I used a bungee cord. Remove two 19mm caliper bracket bolts. Remove the bracket with the brake pads. Remove two Phillips screws holding the rotor in place. Remove the rotor. Clean the hub surface with wire brush and brake cleaner if needed. In this case, I ran out of brake cleaner, so I used wire brush and paper towel only. Apply copper or other anti-seize to the hub. Avoid applying any anti-seize to the hub studs. Install the new rotor. In my case, it has a special coating and no anti-rust spray film, which needs to be removed with brake cleaner. Install the 2 Phillips screws back and tighten them. Inspect and clean the caliper bracket as best you can. Inspect the caliper pin boots for tears and cracks. Replace if needed. Inspect caliper guide pins. They should be moving freely. Clean and lubricate with silicone grease if needed. Note that upper pin is different from the lower one. Reinstall the caliper bracket and 2 19mm bolts. Tighten and torque to 137 Nm or 101 pound-feet of torque. Let's get the pads ready. Inspect the new pads and compare them to the old ones to make sure they fit. I'm using OEM pads. They come with 2 shims, which I'm going to install and thoroughly apply brake paste to avoid squealing. This is standard manufacturer's procedure directly from the service manual. Make sure you do not accidentally apply any paste on the pad and rotor mating surfaces. Install the inner pad. Note the location of the brake wear indicator. Repeat for the outer pad. I'm going to use my wheel brush to clean some loose rust off the caliper bolt mating spots. Time to push the caliper piston back to be able to fit it over new pads and rotor. Before pushing back, inspect the pistons and boots. Remove any debris. I'm using a $5 tool from the hardware store and an old pad to help with the process. Make sure the pistons are pushed all the way back. They should be flush with the caliper. As you can see, one of the boots are sticking out. It's okay. This just means there's air trapped underneath. Normally you would let the air out and push the boots back. In my case, I don't want to risk poking and tearing the boot. So I'm gonna just gently push it evenly back in. I will apply silicone grease here. Reinstall the caliper. Tighten and torque the 2 17mm bolts to 72 Nm or 53 pound-feet of torque. Since I pushed the brake pistons back, it pushed up the brake fluid level in the reservoir. So I'm going to extract some brake fluid from there with a syringe, so it doesn't overflow. Repeat the brake procedure for the other side. Keep an eye on that brake fluid level after completing each wheel brake. Moving to the rear brakes. Remove the two 14mm bolts and the caliper. Secure it. Remove the two 17mm caliper bracket bolts. Remove the bracket with all pads. Remove two Phillips screws holding the rotor in place. Remove the rotor. There's a rubber cap that you need to transfer from the old rotor to the new one that seals the hole used to adjust parking brake shoes on each side. Clean the hub surface with wire brush and brake cleaner if needed. In this case, it looks good already. Apply copper or other anti-seize to the hub. Avoid applying any anti-seize to the hub studs. Install the new rotor. Install the two Phillips screws back and tighten them. Don't forget that rubber cap. Inspect and clean the caliper brackets as best you can. Inspect the caliper pin boots for tears and cracks. Replace if needed. Inspect caliper guide pins. They should be moving freely. Clean and lubricate with silicone grease if needed. Reinstall the caliper bracket and two 17mm bolts. Tighten and torque to 88 Nm or 65 pound-feet of torque. Let's get the pads ready. I'm using OEM pads. They come with two shims, which I'm going to install and thoroughly apply brake paste to avoid squealing. Make sure you don't accidentally apply any paste on the pad and rotor mating surfaces. Install the inner pad. Note the location of the brake wear indicator. Repeat for the outer pad. Time to push the caliper piston back to be able to fit it over new pads and rotor. Before pushing back, inspect the piston and boots and remove any debris. Make sure the piston is pushed all the way back. It should be flush with the caliper. I will apply silicone grease here. Reinstall the caliper. Tighten and torque the two 14mm bolts to 37 Nm or 25 pound-feet of torque. Keep an eye on the brake fluid level in the reservoir. Repeat for the other side. Don't forget to pump your brakes several times before you start the car and move. just to make sure the pistons are pushed firmly against pads and rotors. The brake pedal should feel firm. Check the fluid level in the reservoir again after that, and add fluid as necessary from the syringe, or use new fluid if you have it. And that's it. May your vehicle's brakes be smooth, effective, and not squeaky. If this was helpful, like the video, leave your comments below, and hit that subscribe and bell buttons for more videos just like this. Thank you for watching. Drive safe, use your turn signals, and remember, anything is possible with the right tools and motivation. See you next time.